about, you know, if we can, if we go about reselling that land, if it's in our best interest to partner with somebody to get that development going, I don't know the answer to that yet. But I think in the next few months, a lot of things are gonna come up, as far as that goes. I know there's a couple people that have already been talking with the Bensons over here about the rest of their land. There's a lot that's gonna be shaken here in the next few months. So we're gonna need guidance from you guys. We're, as one of your predecessors was fond of saying, a quasi-governmental authority, which I still don't understand, but, you know, ultimately, we fall under your guidance. So, you know, I don't have anything to ask of you today, but just keep that in the front of your mind that stuff's happening. And, you know, thanks to Mark Bartles, we hired him as our real estate agent for the CHRC. That guy's been working his tail off. You know, we had 9 deals in about 3 months, which is, that's a lot. So he's been running all over Sioux Falls for closings for us and everything else, but he's done a heck of a job, so. Anybody got any questions?
How many of those 19 are along the road?
There's 15 lots along the road and 4 are sold, so there's 11.
11 of those 19.
Yep.
What kind of partnership are they looking for?
Nobody's real committal yet. You know, I mean, the thing that they know is that we don't have the cash on hand to start developing over there. You know, the whole idea behind moving on to that is to do it on cash, without doing another bond or anything else. And so, I mean, we're sitting with, give or take, we're right at about $500,000 in the bank right now, pretty close. So basically, that would deplete our existing funds. So we would have to sell 10 more lots just to get started with development over there. Are we going to do it? Yes, we are. I don't have any doubt that the rest of our inventory will probably be sold by the end of next year. I mean, I think that's pretty realistic. Can we do it? Yeah, we can do it. I don't have any doubts. But like I said, at the end of the day, if we've done what we set out to do, you know, I can see a really awesome, you know, to incorporate all of this land on the south end. That's just not something that we're ever going to be able to do. You know, the amount of money that it would take to get that rolling is just not, without doing another bond, there's no way we'd be able to even think about it.
Has it been determined that the development's going to need a lift station?
We wouldn't have to have one to start probably, which helps a ton. But it looks like it would, probably about 1/3 of the houses on it would probably require one.
Well, I like what you say, and that's kind of what I've been promoting. And I've had a couple new builders out here. I've met with 2 developers, major ones. One pretty high quality. He's working with our engineer, looking at stuff that you guys done. I've been to your meeting and talked about you, but my thinking is, just to throw it out there, is in order to promote housing one more time with this Schoen builder, if CHRC owns the land, a developer comes in, it's probably $2.5 million infrastructure, say they did it by 1 phase or 2 phase, but CHRC could own the land, the developer can put the road, streets, infrastructure in, and say, get a certain amount of lots sold in 1 phase, have an agreement to pay CHRC then for 1 phase, then either go to the second, or if you do it in 3, that's real appeasing to the major developer I'm talking to, and CHRC needs to make some money on it. They don't need to make a profit like a business would, but they're doing good for the city, so they need to make a nominal profit. What's that? 2%, 3% on the deal? Maybe that's something to discuss later on, but I think this is gonna happen in the next 60 days. And so I'm glad you brought it up, so we can visit about it. I've also met with the Bensons last week, and originally I thought the 150 acres between the three of them would all have to be all or none, but the first 50 that's left, school bought 20, so Spencer Manhead started with 70, so he's got 50 left. They would be willing to let 50 go to a developer. Now, that's when a developer comes in and uses his own money to buy the land and do all the stuff. But I think this next step at Schoenfelder's, personally, I think it's still a joint venture, if you want to call it that, to get that done. That's the way I see it. That's my 2 cents.
I guess I agree with just what you said about CHRC in my mind wasn't meant to be the developer of Crooks. It was meant to spur development, get it going, make people realize from the outside what can be done in this town, and people will come. And I think that the long term, though, is you're right, CHRC should not be the sole developer of Crooks. So I'm hoping that we can do some sort of partnership or move forward with Schoenfelder's name.
Anybody else have any comments or questions? Anything else, Mike?
I'll switch gears on you. From the fire department hat that I can put on for a second. I see in your surplus property, that's the fire hydrants. We could use them. Are they in okay shape?
I don't know. Did they come out of Palmyra? Do you know?
I don't know.
No, they've been hit by vehicles over the years, that's why they've been replaced.
Oh, were
So
they?
one was in the corner of 4th and 2nd, I think the other one was in the corner of Highland and 5th Street, and somebody had plowed into a fire hydrant. And so they're inoperable completely. They look nice, but they don't.
Are you wanting to use them for practice or?
No, we would use them for a fundraiser.
Oh.
And if any that come out of Palmyra or anyplace else, we could use those.
So how do we go about that, Tobias?
Move surplus tonight. And then you have to figure out how you want to go about it next. And then do transfers, which would be governmental entities. I don't know if it can be between governmental and nonprofits. But research that. It's the first step. Surplus.
Well, could we, if we have to research that, could we just remove them from, could we amend the surplus list, remove those until we know for sure what we can do? Or how do you want to?
Oh, you have to surplus them regardless.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we don't need.
Oh, just a
Yeah. Then we're not gonna sell them or get rid of them until we have a clear answer.
Okay.
So could we maybe have a motion that we could check with Patrick, our city attorney, and that he's okay with the transfer of the method to do it, to then, however he says, give them to the fire department? Would that be after we surplus them?
You can make any motion you want.
Well, no matter what, we got to declare surplus.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
declare them surplus, so,
And then we just won't do anything
yeah,
beyond
I
that
mean, we're not gonna
until
throw
we
them
get
away
an
or
answer.
sell them.
Scott?
But how do you normally dispose of surplus property? See the bid?
So usually when it's like under $50, we just take it to whatever scrapyard, or we just throw it away because it's absolutely worthless. I mean, ideally, you always declare everything surplus, and then you just, like dirt, CHRC, declare that surplus and do whatever with it. I mean, you can just make a motion, declare it surplus, and just give it to them too. No one is going to contest that. I have a hard time imagining that. It's just declared surplus, say it's worthless, and then whatever. Because as we're worthless, you don't need to have a public auction for a sale under $500, so it's not even a sale. So,
But most of our surplus stuff that's worth something, I think, goes to the city of Sioux Falls auction.
you know, that's, I mean, I don't know how much fire hydrants are worth. It's cast iron, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, Chad, I think Chad's making a truckload now, so after things were declared surplus, I think he's going to the iron yard, salvage yard, just to sell it by the pound, and I know that it wouldn't bring $50.
Most of the people use them for landscaping, so they are worth money. Because I've been approached by people, if they could have them, that told me that city property, but people use those for landscaping projects. And so they're valuable.
Well, that's why the fire department wants them for a fundraiser.
If they were worth $5, they wouldn't in this case.
I'll say this, if it comes down to somebody has to purchase them, I will purchase them and donate them to the fire department.
Okay, so
If money
you can't
has to
transfer it
exchange
to a
hands.
nonprofit.
What?
You can't transfer it to a nonprofit.
We can't transfer it, but we can declare it surplus.
No, gratuitous transfer of property to another political subdivision or nonprofit corporation.
Good job.
CL 6-5-2, to another political subdivision or nonprofit corporation for public, charitable, or humanitarian purposes. So I guess you can just transfer them tonight. Give them all of our surplus property though, so they have to get rid of it. That's why I send it to Sioux Falls. So we save some.
You know, Toby, sometimes you need to stop.
So that could,
No, just make
The
them all.
computer parts?
can we just make the motion now or just when it's time?
Just now, just do it.
Just do it now.
Well,
Yeah. Motion to give the five items to fire department after they've been surplus.
There's a second from Alan. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Anything else, Mike?
That's enough.
Okay, Andy, Park.
Due to a scheduling conflict, we didn't have a meeting in the month of July. We had one scheduled and we found out that I think CHRC was scheduled the same night, so we postponed it. I have reserved the community center for August 25th at 7 p.m. with Toby today. He said it was cleared, so we are planning on having our
you wait.
25th, it's a Tuesday.
Okay.
7 p.m. at the community center. Again, one of the things we've been looking at is trying to make it a community center and a community-run organization, a board. I know that we've had several members, and Butch has a list of about 9 or 10 there. We've seen, on average, 4 to 5 at our meetings over the last 6 to 8 months. So we're going to be asking again for if anybody is interested in serving on the park board on a voluntary basis. Please let me know and we'll get you on there in one way or another. It's going to, we continue to move with the parks. They continue to be improved. We start development of the Schoenfelder land over here. There's so much of that land that either needs to be paid for or we need to have another park put in there. So there's going to be even more things going on with those parks. And we love to have new members, new blood, new information, new opinions are always good. So please come on August 25th at 7 p.m. That's all I have.
Where do you have your meetings here?
In here, yes. Yep.
Okay, Jacob, street report.
Working on a plan for next year to do microsurfacing and crack sealing. That's really about it. They're raising a couple manholes in Palmyra right now. The patch the city crew did over by the gas station looks pretty good. That's about it. Oh, well, I've been getting some questions about the inlet protection in Palmyra. So it's the orange or green tubes that are in front of the inlets. Those have to remain there per DNR until 70% of the grass has been established, so sediment doesn't go into our waterways. So as soon as we get grass established out there, then the contractor will come back and pick those inlet protection back up. That's all I got.
Scott, planning and zoning.
Okay, we didn't have an official meeting this month due to lack of agenda items, no official business, but we continue to work. A lot of accessory building setback issues. Bill and I went and met with the homeowner's daughter of 101 East 9th. She's basically the translator for her dad. A little bit of a language barrier there. We've come up with a viable solution